Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson sailed to victory in Tuesday's election, winning about 80% of the vote.
This will be Johnson's first full term in office since taking over for Tom Barrett 2 years ago. Tonight, I sit down with the mayor to talk about the 4-year stint that certainly comes with challenges, but also high expectations. It's been almost 2 years to the day that I think that you and I sat down like this. What's changed when it comes to your view on the role you play within the city of Milwaukee?
What I've come to find out over the course of the past 2 years is that this job as mayor of the city of Milwaukee, the largest city in our state, a city in which roughly 1 in 10 Wisconsinites live and call home. Like, it's a big, complex, difficult, challenging, but very rewarding job.
Last time we spoke, you told me that you believe voters care first and foremost about public safety. Do you think that's still the case?
I 100% believe that is still the case, absolutely.
With that being said, why should people living in the city who are begging for change have hope that you can make it safer and more livable for them?
Well, we are making it safer for people who live in Milwaukee. I mean, you look at the crime trends in Milwaukee since I've been mayor and have been partnering not just with the police, and the police play a huge role in that, and I'm interested in growing the police force in Milwaukee. There should be no doubt about that, that I want to grow the police force here in Milwaukee. But it's not just police. It's not just police of and by themselves. It has to be a partnership. It has to be a collaboration.
You know, Milwaukee certainly has a lot to offer when it comes to restaurants, the theater district, the sporting events, the museums, you name it. How are you working to try to change the perception of some of the suburban communities who may see Milwaukee as a violent, dangerous place and then are afraid to take advantage of everything it has to offer?
Yesterday was opening day for the Brewers at American Family Field, and I can tell you, like, American Family Field, even with the weather, was jam-packed. And in the hotel that I was in last night, there were Brewers fans who were staying there. I would imagine that the people who are staying in hotels for opening day are probably not generally from the city of Milwaukee. They probably would have gone home. So that means there are people from the outside who are coming in. As a matter of fact, this morning when I left, there was a woman from Oconomowoc that I had the opportunity to chat with, who was here for opening day. So people know about the opportunities that are here. Now, much like every community and every big city especially has things that they have to address. But I'll continue to talk about the virtues that we have in Milwaukee, because we have so many wonderful things that happen in the city each and every single day. The positives far outweigh the negatives.
Milwaukee has seen a steady decline in population over the last several decades. In fact, as of the 2020 census, it's at its lowest population with 577,000 residents since 1930. You've talked about wanting to double Milwaukee's population to 1 million residents. How do you plan on doing that? Outside
of public safety, is working to make sure we overhaul our zoning codes in Milwaukee. And my administration has been working to do that over the course of the last year, and we'll present plans to the Common Council later this year. We call the effort Growing Milwaukee, Growing MKE, and it'll allow for us to create more density. Do you think it would increase traffic, though, and give people all those headaches that bigger cities, I mean, just down the road in Chicago, people talk about how terrible the traffic is, and here it's 20 minutes pretty much anywhere. Yeah. We've got space to do it, right? I mean, our commute times in Milwaukee are, a far cry from some of the commute times you see in other communities around the country. And when you build density in a city, people don't necessarily need a car anyway, because you have all the things you need within a walkable or bikeable area or an area where you can catch a bus, and you don't need to go that far, therefore you don't necessarily need a car. There's a lot of residential building that's happening throughout the city, whether it's more of these high-rises, more townhomes, more apartment buildings. But rental prices, I mean, they are sky high when you check the websites to see what leasing is available for people. Do you think that because of the sky-high prices, that would have an opposite effect and not allow people in because they're just pushed out financially? This is why our zoning upgrades are really, really important. I want to make it easier to develop in Milwaukee. You create more supply, and if you create some more supply, then the cost of living, the cost of renting ought to go down. That's part of our plan as well. This summer, something very big is happening in the city of Milwaukee. You guys have been preparing for 4 years now. The Republican National Convention is coming to Milwaukee. It's a huge deal for the city, no doubt. 50,000 people are expected to come to town, a $200 million economic bump, some say. As a Democrat yourself, what do you say to those who push back on having opposite politics take over the city for a week in July? Well, I say to that, one, There's 50,000 people who live in the city of Milwaukee who are Republicans and vote that way anyhow. So that many people are already here and cast their ballots that way. They're already a part of our community. I say that the Republican National Convention opens up this massive door for Milwaukee to be showcased on a national and international stage with literally press pools from across the country and around the world who will showcase our city to their communities far and wide and beyond to help us tell the story of the city, to draw more people here, to draw more businesses here, to draw more attention to Milwaukee. I think it creates the opportunity for us to have a virtuous economic cycle. I don't think the RNC is the end. This is the beginning.
You have a young family that you're raising in the same city that you were brought up in. Do you see yourself staying at the helm of Milwaukee for as long as voters will have you, or do you have bigger political aspirations?
You know, I mean, I was just obviously reelected to serve as mayor of this city, and I love this city. I really, really do. When it comes to conversations about running for governor, I think right now we've got a governor, one that I've supported in 2018, one that I supported in 2022. Question is what Governor Evers decides to do first and foremost. But if the opportunity came, would I take a look at it? Yeah, absolutely, I'd take a look at it.
Mayor Johnson's win Tuesday makes him the first elected black mayor in the city of Milwaukee's history. His 4-year term officially begins on April 16th.